So very, very quickly, they could have misconstrued what he was trying to say into thinking that he was saying, oh, you're claiming to be God. Are you seriously claiming to be God? You know how sacrilegious it is. You know that you can lose your life for that in our tradition. You know that. How can you claim that about yourself, sort of thing? You know? I can just so easily see that scenario occurring, guys, where Yeshua was trying to get a deeper spiritual concept across to these people, and they be so quick to take it out of context, take it the wrong way, and claim that he was saying something he wasn't actually saying at all, sort of thing, you know. And then probably any number of his followers, like decades after the fact, and maybe 100 years after the fact, latching on to that and going with it as well, sort of thing. Clearly, about 300 years after the fact, when Rome got involved, and Rome basically created the religion of Christianity that we know today, they latched on to that big time, if it was already being taught, and they went with that big time because it went right within to their belief systems of creating gods left, right, and center, sort of thing, you know. So it was very easy for them to turn Yeshua into a god and make the whole world worship him as a god, you know. And they were the custodians of that religious system, that you had to look to them and to their priest and all the rest of it, you know, to believe in Yeshua the way that they were saying it, in order to find salvation. You know, there is no salvation, guys. We are eternal spirit beings anyway. We just continue on regardless. There's no saving from anything, you know. Once we leave this plane of existence, we just go on into another plane of existence, guys, and it just goes on and on and on. And we probably come back any number of times for soul evolution and soul growth and all the rest of it. There's no saving from anything, really, you know. So this is another concept that was shoved into this movement, this original Jewish movement, you know, some 200 to 300 years after the fact, sort of thing, when they were forming this religion, corrupting the original movement, that you had to think this way and believe this way. This was all their way of controlling the masses, guys, and we know this now. It's been documented. There are people who have spent their entire lives researching this sort of stuff to bring this information to light, sort of thing, you know. So I am more interested, much more interested, in finding out who the Yeshua of history was, what movement he would have been a part of himself as he was growing up. Again, I suspect it was one of the Essene groups, subsects of Judaism. And what was the first original movement that formed from his teachings while he was alive, and you know, within the first few years to few decades after his passing. Now, we are told there are traditions that claim that the group that formed after Yeshua passed from this life, they were known as the Nazarenes. They were the first original followers of Yeshua, Prince Yeshua, I still like to say. And his life and his teachings and so on and so forth. They were all Jewish, guys. They very much Jewish within the Jewish tradition of that time period, and still trying to discover a bit more myself who they were, what they were about, sort of thing. They were just basically Jewish people that accepted Yeshua as their Messiah. Beyond that, they were just practicing Jews, sort of thing. Now, whether, again, they were a part of these Essene sects, I'm still trying to figure out whether the Nazarenes were another subsect of the Essene movement itself, or if this was a movement that formed as a direct result of Yeshua's life, Yeshua's teachings, and all the rest of it, sort of thing. There was outgrowth of the movement that he formed around him. I'm still a little undecided as to how all that falls into place, sort of thing, you know. But there were there were Nazarenes, and they appear to have been the earliest form of Christianity that existed for 100 years or so, a bit apart of 100 years, until more of the Gentile people who were exposed to whatever the message was then, were exposed to it and found it appealing, wanted to be a part of it. But as more and more Gentile and non-Jewish people became a part of the movement changed over time. And more pagan ideas got incorporated into the movement that wasn't originally a part of the movement. So even by the time Constantine comes on the scene, about 300 some odd years after the fact, the movement had already changed so much, guys, that it was barely recognizable from the way it was when it first started. You know, in 33 AD or whatever, or maybe before that, you know, when YESHUA was alive, sort of thing, you know. So these are all the things that I'm exploring here now, guys. I'm going to share more of it in future videos and so on, and hopefully you'll find it interesting. I'll try to explain it to you as best I can as I'm understanding it. I'm presenting a different side of YESHUA that hopefully resonates with a lot of people and so on. You can go ahead and just do your own research, guys, if you want to back up the things that I'm saying with your own research and wherever it takes you, sort of thing, you know. But again, this individual is someone really worth knowing outside of what Christianity itself claims about him as well. And I think the more you discover about him, the more it's going to affect your life, your perspective on things and so on. And it's worth the journey. It's worth the discovery. It really is, you know. So what are we doing now, guys? Alright, an hour and a half in. I'm going to clue it up there, guys. I have to rush off and use the washroom there now. And once that hits me, guys, I just got to go where I can't stop, can't hold it. So take care, guys. God bless. Hope you found this enjoyable. I hope I wasn't rambling too much here. I try to get as much in this time around as I could, sort of thing. I'm going to go into this more and more in future videos, guys. Don't know when, but I mean, we'll see, because I might want to get on some other topics now in other videos. But yeah, 11:35 right now. That's not too bad. I'm coming up at a decent hour here. So everyone take care, guys. God bless. Love ya. Bye for now. Bye-bye.